That is a stunning piece of wood. I would have never thought in a million years that that would have ended up coming out. Don't even see it very well because it's so shiny, the light's reflecting off of it. But I took that bit. So this is the project. I'm calling it my prehistoric bowl, as you can see from the title. The reason being is because it's old, chunky and rough around the edges, just like me. So, sticky and horrible. So yes, so yeah, nothing else to say really. It's failed. No good. So I'll see you guys next week. Fresh new project, one that works. And take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Good afternoon all, hope you're all well. Thanks for coming and joining us for, or shall we say, for the Nicky Sunday Lunchtime Live. So I hope you're all well, hope you're enjoying this glorious sunshine. A little bit windy here today, but the sun is out gleaming, so thank God for that. So yeah, no Friday night live because obviously it's my youngest 17th birthday, so we went out for a meal, and I do apologise, but Brian was going to cover, but then he realised it was Michelle's birthday, so you can't let that one down. And then Terry was going to do a pop-up, but he was so tired through moving all his rubbish, he didn't bother. So you missed us, but we are back. So hopefully back on a bit more routine now, Friday, Sunday, and get back on the straight and narrow. So anyway, what am I doing today? I'm playing around with some Milliput today. For you guys who don't know what Milliput is, this is Milliput. It's a two-part epoxy putty that comes in several different colours. It comes in standard, turquoise, blue.
What does standard mean? You can't just say standard.
Well, it's like a grey, browny, nasty looking colour. Turquoise blue, super fine, silver grey and black it comes in. Oh, and terracotta. It was actually designed not for arts and crafts. It was actually designed for repair and baths and drain pipes and things like that to stop water leaks. But someone had the bright idea of using it for crafts, and then the manufacturer. I actually had the privilege of meeting the gentleman and his son at Maker Central a couple of years ago, and they told me all about it. And they like to say this has just gone through the roof. Really good product. You get some really nice finishes with it. So we're going to have a play around with two different colours today. Not sure what colours I'm going to do yet, but we'll see as I get into the piece. I've got a piece of walnut worktop that I'm going to just basically it's just to enhance the colours, so I want quite deep colours into it, but we're going to do like a two colour finish around the top rim. I'm not going to do it on the bottom because it's not 40 mil. It's going to be more of a platter than a bowl, so we'll just do it around the outer rim and we'll see what sort of styles we can come up. Unfortunately, it's going to be a two-part live. The reason being is the Milliput will take about 12 to 14 hours to harden off enough to turn off. So what we'll do is we'll do the base and the texturing and the Milliput inlay today, and then we'll come back and finish it next Sunday, because next Sunday is the hashtag week, so that'll give us, we'll finish the platter off and also do the hashtag. So while I go get ready, go over to Lathe, Nick will read out and welcome everybody in.
Hello everybody. Have you got that bowl that you did, the first ever done one you done with Milliput?
Ooh, Not Lilliput. Milliput, you mean?
Milliput. Don't know where
No.
that'd be. I can't think.
Um,
Because that was really pretty. That was done with the turquoise, weren't it?
yeah, I might have even sold it, to be honest.
Might have a picture somewhere. I'll have to have a look. Right. Anyway, let's get to the chat. So we have Wood Wizardry by Colin, Woodturning by Barry. We have Brian at Heart Woodturning, Roy's the Boy. We Val's Teckle Turnings.
Tickle turning.
Teckle,
Oh, right.
I think. She's in her shed, but she's listening.
Hi, Val. I just sent you an email, Val.
Oh, I've done it. Right, let's try again.
So,
Hey, Brian's got his link done for tomorrow.
congratulations.
Doug Miller at Woodspun Round, Michael McEwen. We also have Ruby Clare. We have Barry's Wood Creations. We have Norman Greenwell. Welcome to Forking Owls. Chris Dodds. Christine and Michael Heseltine. Copper Owl Woodturning. Todd at Glen Cove Woodworks. Greg Alexander.
Ugh.
Tipsy Turner. As you probably hear, I have got a cold. Steve kindly shared it with me when he had man flu.
That's Pete's fault.
I was really bad yesterday, weren't I?
That's Pete's fault.
Eyes were streaming, and
Pete shared it with me. I shared it with you.
yeah, we are blaming Pete. You did tell him not to put his tongue in, but
Yep, didn't listen. Right.
We've also got Amy on, Steve Fleming, Woodworm Paul, Paul Height and the Greasy Turner, Terry TJ Turner, hiya, Grandpa Jim Wood Turner, Keith Jarvis. Like I say every week, if I've missed anyone when I say I'm done, just give me a nudge and I'll give you a shout out. Brent Beecroft. Joe Senior's on. Hi, Jojo, you alright?
All right, Joe. All right.
I think we might be about. Just wait. There. Wivey Woodshed's on. Terry Bartlett. Benjamin. William Kenny. Gary Glass.
Welcome, everybody.
So, like I say, if I've missed anyone, just say you missed me.
You missed me.
You missed me. What's Marky Mark up to today?
I think he's getting ready to go on holiday.
When did he go?
I'm not sure. It's got to be soon. This week, next week, or no, whenever.
Yeah, Brian said it is Pete's fault because he's had it as well.
Yeah, always Pete's fault. Well, actually, it's always Mark's fault, but we're blaming this one on Pete.
Benjamin said most problems can be traced back to Pete. Oh, Woodwork Learner's on as well. Didn't mention him, sorry. Like I say, if I have missed you, just say you didn't mention me and I'll just give you a shout out.
Should have sharpened
chat
it.
jumps a little bit. So you'll be pleased today. I am prepping vegetables. We have carrots, leeks, parsnips, cauliflower. We haven't got broccoli today. Parsnips, leeks, carrots, cauliflower. I think that's it. Oh, and potatoes. And then I have to do a bit of research to see what my our new little pets can have. Right, Woodwork Learner said, "Did you miss me? I wasn't listening properly." Woodwork Learner's in the chat, everybody. Oh, Malcolm Douglas, sorry.
Oh, did you say woodworm?
Woodwork Woodwork learner.
Yeah, did you say woodwork learners in chat?
Woodwork learner's in the chat, didn't you? And Wood Dude,
Hi, Stephen.
is it wood turning or enjoying the sunshine today? Michelle Higgins is on.
Shell.
Right, so Amy said, what is the working time with Milliput before it starts to cure?
About 25-30 minutes gives you enough time before it starts to go. It doesn't go hard. It's not like normal resin. It doesn't go hard really quick, but it starts to lose its pliability. So obviously, the sooner you can get it in, the better.
I want to make stuff as well as in the chat. Sorry,
Hi, how you
Stu.
doing?
Oh, that smells nice. What's the wood you're turning?
Piece of walnut worktop it is.
Smells really nice, turning. I think I've missed someone, so I'm just going back to the top. It's not letting me go. How do I?
So that's my foot base.
Terry's got a question. Oh no, just to let you know, I have man flu as well, and I'm not well, so I'll not be doing a live tomorrow. Sorry all.
Oh, take it easy, Terry.
That
Was it
must have been
peaceful?
Pete as well, yeah. He's good sharing, isn't he?
He loves sharing. Sharing is caring, they say, don't they? Right, so let's just flatten this up.
Gary Glass said he's just used Milliput to strengthen the handle of a walking stick he's making. The stick's not for me, hasten to add.
It's got a lot of different uses. If you look on Google, there's many different uses it's been used for.
Wood Dude's asking, is anyone going to Makers?
I'm not. I wish I was, but I'm not. Got too much to do. But speaking of Makers, let me just get my phone to check. I'm sure I know what stand it is, but I'm just going to check. If you are going to Makers, then what you need to do is go over to the Taylor's Murfield's stand. If I can find the.
Do you want me to find it while you're doing that?
Well, I'm trying to find the chat I had with Dan. All right, here we go. Right, Taylor's Murfield stand C12. So go over and see Dan at C12. And I am pleased to announce that Dan will be actually showing and promoting the Chuck Buddies on stand C12, which is a nice little bonus for me, and hopefully they sell well, and hopefully that people get to know about the Chuck Buddy range or the Buddy range. So hopefully that'll be good. Dan asked if he could promote them.
Terry said, yeah, it was actually it may have been Mark's fault as he shook my hand after shaking Pete, so he was a carrier. Colin said he used the turquoise one on a vase and tea light holders. Great stuff. Yeah, Steve used the turquoise one on a bowl. That was one of the first ones he ever did. Very, very pretty.
Nice colour, turquoise.
Terry's put nurses are not sympathetic. No wives are. Yeah, Brian's not going to make us either. Is Brian coming to Harrogate?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh,
I
we've
got,
got
I,
Dave. Wait a minute. We've got David Reeve in the chat.
Hi, David. I am definitely I will say I am definitely going to make us next year because I've had so many people ask me if I'm going. That I will definitely be going next year if it's on. That is right. So I
Amy
don't want.
said she wished she was going to make us, but the air travel's so expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine for
It
Amy.
will be, yeah. It
So I
is
don't want.
expensive, Colin, you're right.
It's the accommodation is so expensive,
Mm.
and then you have money to spend there. You know what I mean? Yes. I did cancel my hotel. Well, I didn't cancel it. I had to change it to a different date.
Brian's put Harrogate is bought and paid for. Is Michelle coming over for Harrogate, Brian?
Yeah, Michelle.
Shush. Mark Stroughton's on.
Hi, Mark. How you doing? So like I said, I just want a nice gradual curve on that. I don't want nothing too, as you can see, I've just gradually brought that up. I don't want nothing too fancy on there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of texturing in the bottom of that. And I'm going to put a little bit of texturing on our foot. So for that, I'm going to use the Robert Sorby mini texturing tool.
When we did go to Makers, we found it. It was the first night, weren't it? The Friday night in the hotel, everyone meeting up and everything. That was the.
For me, Makers is more about the meeting up the other makers than the actual event. Makers is a great event to go to, and there's a lot of things going on at Makers. But it's meeting up with the other makers that do it for me. Because Makers is not really if you're into only wood turning, Makers is not really designed just for the wood turner. It's designed for many different arts and crafts and anything to do with making and creating. Makers is the thing that's more about getting YouTube together, as Makers is. Where Harrogate is more about woodwork and wood turning. So I made the choice of, because I could only afford to go to one this year, I decided to go to Harrogate rather than Makers.
So Brian said not yet, but he's working on it. Woodwork Learner said he's hoping to get to Harrogate. Keith Jarvis said, "What is Harrogate, please?" You just said, didn't you?
Harrogate, yeah, Harrogate is it's a wood turning, wood making tool expedition. It's really good especially if you're into your tools. And if you're into making with wood, then it's perfect. Trend are there. You'll have people like Simon Hope, Makita, DeWalt, Trend, all the big manufacturers will be there. And you have lots of independent stores there that do all the paints, the colouring, the different turning tools, the different wood making tools. I mean, it is basically for woodworking and wood turning. So if that's what you're into, then that's where you need to be.
Brent said, has anyone had any experience turning basswood?
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 Bass balsa, do you mean?
Don't know. Brent, could you just elaborate a little bit more on that?
Right, let's have that one. See if you can set a bit of texturing.
Colin said the resin egg that Brian did was awesome.
It was very nice. Right, so can you just see a little bit of texture in the bottom there? And just a little bit of texture on that rim. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little line on the outside of both of those, just to enhance those.
Barry's Wood Creation said he's not going to make us, but looking forward to Harrogate. Tickets and hotel all booked.
Yeah, I've booked. I haven't booked my tickets yet.
Tickets because we don't know what we're doing yet.
I've booked my hotel.
Ash is on at Kitey Shed.
Hi Ash, how you doing?
Yeah, Terry, Steve did tell me.
What's that?
About if I go, Ruth will go.
Yeah.
Sid Repurposing is on.
Hi Sid, how you doing, mate?
And Brian put, thank you, Colin. It was Steve's fault.
Right, so just a little bit of line on the outside of the texture.
To leave it at Pete, but Pete won't have none of it.
So like I say, could you go for a second?
No, Paul Finley Woodturning's on.
Hi Paul.
Colin Izzard's on.
Right, so just a little detail on either side of that. So what I am going to do, I'm just going to put when you look on texture, you never get to the center. So I'm just going to put a little tiny dot in the center of that, because you never get the texture and start right in the center. So hopefully the little dot in the middle will just give it a little bit of character. Right, so let's get the sand up. Don't want to sand over that too much, just gentle sanding on those parts. So we'll sand that up to 240 from 120.
Oh, wait a minute. Wood Dude's on, you put it up here. Wood Dude, he's on Chestnut Stand from 1:30 till 2:30 on both days.
Oh, good man.
So if
Make
you
sure
don't
you go
mind,
and
just go along and say hello to him.
Stephen. Say hello to Stephen.
What else did someone say? Dr. Bob's on.
Hi, Dr. Bob.
So Benjamin said basswood is very soft, usually used for carving.
No, I've never turned it.
So Brent's said, oh, this stupid mouse. Basswood is generally for carvers, but I've been asked to turn platters for them. Can anyone help out?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I've never really.
Jimmy Bob's on.
Hi, Jim.
Jimbo. Yeah, I may go to Harrod. Just got to see what my daughter's youngest is doing first. I'm too soft to. She don't care about going out and leaving me sat there on my own like Billy no mates, but I can't leave her on her own if she don't want to come. Cheaper if she don't come. But
if she don't want to come, then you shouldn't miss out because she don't want to come.
no, I know. But I just don't want having a party either.
Oh, don't care as long as.
Oh no, it's not till October, is it? They wouldn't want.
No, November.
Oh, November. Woodwork Learner said, "How does Milliput turn compared to resin? Do you turn it?"
Yeah, Milliput is only that's like a putty, so it turns really easy. Makes a hell of a mess, but it turns really easy.
Alex of Wooden Things is on. Just popped in to say hello. Off to pick up my new glasses.
All right, thanks, Alex. How you doing?
Doug Miller said the basswood I've turned works very nice. Yeah, perhaps you could give him some tips.
Right, so that's up to 120. Just blow all that out. So we're going to get some sand and sealer on there now. Seal up.
Colin Izzard said, "Is the piece on the lathe an offcut of worktops?"
Yes, it is, mate. Yes, it is.
Smells lovely when it's turning.
All my hardwood worktops that I install, I always try and save all the offcuts, whether they be 6 inches across or a foot across.
What's this show at Harrogate called? I'll see if I can find it.
The Northern Tool Show, I think. I think it's the Northern Tool Show.
Brian, he did ask the little Brian, so he might find it. But
I think it's the Northern Tool Show. Don't quote me on that. Look at that, baby.
North of England Woodworking and Power Tool Show.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Just got to find the dates.
It's the 11th to the 13th of November.
Isn't it then? Because it's got the 18th and 19th.
Oh, that might be the one. No, that can't be. What, of November?
Don't say. Just says. Do you know how much tickets are? It says pre-booked adults £9.
I can tell you what the tickets are. Sounds about the right price, though.
I wonder if Brian's found it. Roger Kent's on. Good morning, everyone from sunny Tennessee.
Hi, Roger. How you doing, sir? Welcome. Right, so I'm going to give this a couple of good coats of sand and sealer.
Woodwork Learner said, if it makes that much mess when you're sending a blank to Brian to turn.
What's that?
Woodwork Learner didn't make sense. Sorry. So I want to make stuff's name is Aston.
It is Aston, you're correct.
I was just reading a message. Thank you, Gary. 11th to the 13th of November. At least someone.
I did say that. The 11th to the 13th, did I not? Obviously, no one listened.
Right, what's it called?
The Northern. I'm sure. Are you sure you weren't looking at the other year? Because that's when the other year's one was the 19th.
I just typed in what you told me to. Northern Tool
Northern
Show
Harrogate.
2022.
What's it come up with? Go on. What's it come up with? What's it come up with?
Blinking same one. I'll give up. Brian Levins is on. He's from Indiana.
Hi, Brian. How you doing? I loved your bowl you turned the other day, mate. Really nice piece. So, walnut. There you go. Lovely piece of walnut. Thanks for coming over. See you all next week. Bye. No, joking. Tickets are tenner. Pre-book for 12 quid. Oh, 12 quid on the door. There you go. Right. So,
No,
sand.
it's no. I was trying to find that he wants the link for it.
All
I was
right.
on
Let me.
Peter.
Stand by your beds. Pete's on. Let me see if I can find this tool show.
No, you get on with what you're doing.
What's that noise?
Guess.
Oh.
Right. The north of England, woodworking and power tool. Peter. Alex said here, it's looking good so far, but he's got to go.
See you later,
I think I
Alex.
said William Kenny's on. I think I did give you a shout out earlier. Oh, you little superstar, Brian. Thank you. Brian's found the link.
Oh, thank God for that, Brian. Thank you very much, Brian.
You shut up.
Thank God for that. I'm starting to lose the will to live. I'm starting to lose the will to live. Right. Our famous Yorkshire grit. Yorkshire grit, Glyn. Yorkshire grit, Glyn.
This is
Just wake him up, Joe. Joe, just give him a nudge. Tell him I'm using Yorkshire grit. Stop him bitching all the time.
just to beat him to it, Brian. I'll put your link in for tomorrow because he's actually done it.
Wow. Right, so Yorkshire grit.
Yeah, Pete, you're giving everybody a cold. The man flu. I was laid up yesterday, big time. Couldn't believe it.
That was heaven,
Felt
wasn't it?
so rubbish.
That was heaven. That was absolutely heaven. Peace and quiet.
Right, so Brian said the link to the website is up, but they still have to update the date. Check the bottom of the page for this year's dates. So I won't go bad.
Right, so Yorkshire grit. Apply generously.
Click your heel. You didn't click your heels.
So you need to make sure you sand and seal before you apply Yorkshire grit, because if not, that'll soak into your timber and won't do no good. So
And what's Yorkshire grit?
it's an abrasive paste knife finish.
And you didn't click your heels when you said Yorkshire grit.
I ain't got your heels on tonight.
Mhm.
So put your on, start your load about 500 RPM. Gently work in the grit. Don't need to push hard. Let the grit do all the cutting. And then this should take us up to about 1,000 grit. And the good thing is, you're sanding from 240 grit up to 1,000 grit without any dust. The only thing you're going to get is where we've done the texturing. It's going to go in where the texturing is, but we can blow that out with a blow air gun once we're finished sanding and sealing it. Or sorry, Yorkshire gritting it. So as you can see, all the sanded walnut is staying in our piece of tissue. So we're just going to speed the lathe up a little bit, just so we can finish that off. When you're using Yorkshire grit, you'll feel the abrasiveness or the abrasive paste roughing around on the tissue. And as it breaks down to give you your finer grit, you'll hear it and feel it in the tissue. That'll get smoother and smoother. Oops. Keep hold of the tissue always helps.
Brian said only wear heels on a Friday night, guys. Don't be worrying. He won't wear them in the workshop.
So what
Mark
we're going to...
puts on, he said he's still on his aluminium tin of Yorkshire grit. Local supplier doesn't sell it, so got the chestnut version, which works great too.
Oh, no, don't do it to yourself, Paul. Get the Yorkshire grit, mate.
Woodwork then puts, okay, Brian, they're steel-toed high heels.
Right, so as you can see, it's all collected in our tissue. So now what we're going to do is we're going to buff it off.
Give it a buff.
So we want to keep going over this until we get no more residue on our tissue. So clean bit of tissue. You're going to be using these parts of your fingers as well. Don't push with your tips because you'll end up with lines in it. You want to try and use the pads of your fingers. It's a bit warm in there, Nick.
A bit.
Just open the door, babe, please.
Don't know why you want the heating on.
Because that was really cold in there this morning.
It's a lovely blow outside. Washington's getting lovely and dry. Steve, Dr. Bob said, for many years I custom turned cheese boards for a local countertop manufacturer as thank you promotional items for their customers, well over 1,000 until I got burned out doing them.
Wow.
I bet. Brian El Tornero de Med, whatever it is. Paul, what is the chestnut version? I can't get Yorkshire grit over here.
Right, so that should take us up to about 1,000 grit. And as you can see, we've got a nice sheen on there already. Yorkshire grit is not a finish. It is an abrasive paste. So you need to put a finish over it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight those bits of texturing before we put a wax over the top of it, before we put a finish over the top of it. So I think I'm just going to put a little bit of gold over that just to highlight that before we get some tissue. Before we put some wax over that. So I'm just going to get some Hampshire Sheen intrinsic gold. I'm just going to use my finger just to slur that in there. So it's just to enhance that little bit of texture, really.
Oh, I better get on with this veg, if not, it's not going to get done.
What we don't want to do is when we wax, we don't want to go over this with wax because the wax will fill the...
Do you wax on, wax off? No?
No.
You're doing well. You still didn't open this tin of sweets.
I know.
They'll be out of date by the time you do.
So make sure you push it well in the texturing. If you want your texture a little bit deeper, what you can do is texture after you sanded. But I didn't want a real deep texture, so that's why I textured before I sanded. Right, so let's get a clean bit of tissue and just buff that out. So just gonna wipe some of that off. So I'm gonna spin it up. Don't want no major pressure over that, just light buffing over that. Because if not, you'll take the All we're doing is cleaning off the excess embellishing
Amy's got
wax.
a question. She said, do you put the Milliput on before the Yorkshire grip?
Yes, you do. So we're just going to buff that off gentle. Like I say, all we're doing is removing that little tiny over trace or leftover bit of embellishing wax. So let's just give that a little bit of an enhancement on the bottom there, just to sort of enhance that texturing up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cover the rest in a bit of wax. So Hampshire Sheen High Gloss Wax. So not going to go over the centre piece with the wax. So we're just going to get a clean cloth. So again, nice light application. Don't need to be pushing on it. Hold on to the tissue helps. Don't need to be pushing on it hard, because you'll just burnish off your wax. So that's the first coat. Just going to give it another coat using the same tissues I did before.
Not when you blew your nose on.
No, not when I blew my nose on that. So we're just going to turn the tissue the inside out. So we've got a clean bit. We're just going to buff it exactly the same as we just did. So with the Hampshire Sheen wax, if you want a deeper shine, just keep applying your coats. Now just bring up your deep shine. So there we go. That's 2 coats of Hampshire Sheen. I don't know if you can really see the shine on that, but let's go on that one. So as you can see there, as you can see there, we've got a nice shine on there. So that's our bottom finished. So we're going to... Steve said bottom. Steve said bottom. So we're going to flip that now. And get ready to put our texture in for our Milliput.
What colour Milliput you using?
I don't know yet. What do you reckon?
What ones you got?
I've got all of them.
Ooh.
So I'm just going to flatten this out and lose some of this. It's quite chunky on the edge.
Thank you.
It's quite chunky there, so we're going to lose some of that width and take it down to only about 10 mil wide. So let's lose some of that. Gonna try and get it into like a flying saucer shape.
We can use it as a frisbee.
Yeah.
I think you need to keep them bits of wood that was in that bucket. The rabbits to chew.
What bits of wood?
There's some bits of wood in a black bucket out there.
That's treated nickel. You can't give them
Oh,
that.
Woodwork learner said gold, yellow milliput will match the gold.
Don't do a yellow one. They do turquoise, terracotta, white, silver, black, and the standard one, which is like a grey colour, I think. So let's have a look at that. Right, so I think that's the sort of shape I'm going to go for, because what I'll do is I'll hollow out that piece there to give it like a dish effect. So what we need to do is just clean that up. Actually, I'm going to put a line in there to give me a definition line where I'm going to turn from, I think. About there somewhere, I reckon. So this is going to be our area we're going to texture. So how we're going to texture it, I haven't thought that far ahead, but what we'll do is we'll sand it, and then we'll have a look at how we can texture it. There's several different ways we can texture it. So let's get it sanded up. And so this time I'm going to sand this up to 600 grit. The reason being is we're going to sand and seal it.
Barry said don't talk to him about flying saucers.
Yeah,
That was Barry that done that when you showed me, isn't it?
it's really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Put a little round on there. Do, 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 do. I suppose I could really just sand it that way, can I? No, does that all go in my face then?
Woody said who's having baby rabbit barbecue this afternoon. Woodwork learner said they do a yellow grey milliput.
Yeah, which is the original, isn't it?
Radar wood turners on.
Hi Radar, how you doing? Right, last grit, 400. Right, so that's up to 400 grit. Make sure we've got no tool marks in it. So now we need to work out what patterns we're going to do in it, or what texture we're going to do it. Now you can do several different types of texture. You can either do, obviously, with the procs on, just some crisscrosses on it. You can do with a Dremel, some patterns on it. You can use a Forstner bit, put some circles on it here and there. You can use a beading tool just to put part out an area and then just fill it with your colour. But I'm not sure what we should do. What should we do, Nick? What do you reckon?
Sorry, I'm looking at something.
Oh, yeah, sorry to disturb you.
What's important? So say it again.
So I can either use the Proxon to put crisscrossy lines in it, which I think might be a bit aggressive, but we'll see. I can use a texturing tool, or I can use cut grooves in it so they're just constantly round, or I can use a Forstner bit just to put circles, scattered circles, and do different colours.
Mark said he can't find anywhere to buy tickets for Harrogate on the website.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked on the website yet, so I wouldn't know.
Ask Brian, because obviously he's already booked his. I don't know, Steve. Do whatever you think, mate. You know,
Okay, do whatever I think.
I normally suggest something, and that's not good enough. So.
Do whatever I suggest, whatever I want. Okay. I
don't know what to suggest. You've got to be careful because it's a nice bit of wood.
Yeah, it is. So perhaps if I put an inner and outer line to start with. So let's get a what we're going to use for that.
Ben thinks someone's broken into his house and stolen his sticky back Velcro.
So first line, second line.
When was the last time you used Milliput?
When I did that bowl.
Ago, wasn't it? Yeah, exactly.
Tell when it was, just after Maker Central, last Maker Central, because they gave me some to try, didn't they? And I brought a load home. So we'll fill those two lines in with one colour. And I think if I do a bit in between that, and we'll do that mottled effect. So let's do a line there, and a line there, and we'll take that piece out. So we'll take that bit out of there.
Oh, Brian said they're not for sale yet. He thinks they're available in August.
There you go then. That's why you can't find them.
Pete told him, but he couldn't remember what he said. Oh, sugar.
A bit darker, deeper than that.
I had lasagna, Amy. That was a nice meal, actually. You had pie, didn't you? Steak pie? Wasn't as nice as the one you had at Carpenter's, was it?
I think it was more ale pie than steak.
Norman said, looking at the interweb, it's August for Harrogate tickets. So I can make a decision by then. Then?
I'm going to Harrogate.
No, for tickets.
So
I'd like to do Harrogate. Because what we staying?
Sorry?
How many nights you staying?
Going on the Friday night, coming back on the Sunday.
See, last time we done the Christmas market on the Sunday. I didn't know if we should have done it on the Saturday.
Right,
So
so that's,
go to Harrogate on the Sunday.
you do what you like. I'll be there both days anyway, so. Right, so you want enough to obviously key into. So I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bit of, I'm just going to rough it up a little bit just to give it something to bite into. Then we'll get a bit of rough sandpaper and just scuff that up a little bit. Get a bit of 60 grit, just so it's got something to key to. Because that's quite a big area.
Now Harrogate's in November, Ruby. The tickets are on sale in August.
Right, so what we're going to do is we do that one colour, and then we'll do a mottled effect within that gap there. So let's get it cleaned up and sand and sealed. So make sure we seal it well.
Don't know if the rabbits have parsnips. Colin said, wow, Steve's using a carbide.
Yeah, only for that bit in there.
Yeah, Harrogate advance tickets available from 31st of August.
So I think the turquoise might look good on this. What do you reckon? Or do you think that'd be too bright?
No, go for it.
I'm thinking turquoise in the two rings, and then turquoise and black in the middle. So I just want to try and get the sand and sealer in them grooves so that seals well.
So rabbits can have a little bit of parsnips, but not a lot.
Don't worry about us, just worry about the rabbits.
I'll give them the stalk, Steve. You have the stalk if you want. They love their treat things and cauliflower leaves. Not so keen on apple, were they?
No.
Love carrot. Obs.
Right. So I think we're ready to Milliput it then. Let's get these tools away. You're going to want them no more today. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix up some Milliput. And I'm thinking green in there or turquoise in there and there. Then we'll do turquoise and black mottled effect around the outside there. So let's get a board that we're going to mix on. And a bit of advice: if you're mixing Milliput,
Terry's got to go.
see you later, Terry.
Terry.
Hope you feel better soon, bud.
Good luck
Ah.
with the cooking.
If you're mixing Milliput, make sure you wear gloves, because if not, it will stain your hands. Because I can hear you chewing that carrot. Right, so we want a clean bit of board. So let me just see if I can find a clean bit of ply or something. This will do. This bit of ply here, that'll do. It's clean. Actually, that might be better, that bit. Whoa, blow the dust off of it. So that's for clean mixing on. So black and turquoise, I believe. I think. Make sure I ain't got one open. That's a new one.
Christina, my time said that the colours sound good.
Yeah, I think they'll work quite well together, to be honest. I think these are all new to be. Oh no, that's a old one. Right, so it's 50-50. So obviously you get part A, part B. So that's obviously the hardener, and then this one's the putty. So we need enough to go around. So I'll find a knife. It's a knife lay there, isn't it? So we're going to cut off about an inch, maybe a little bit more than an inch. And then we want the same with part B. Cool, that's hard. Blimey. And if you open them, make sure you keep them well sealed, because if not, they will go hard. So you just need to knead them together now to get them to mix up. And that white one is really hard. I don't know if it's gone off. Perhaps we won't do Milliput. Oh no, it's going. It's starting to go. Oh, blimey, God, it's hard. This is a good thing about live videos. You see, you can come back when it's all mixed up. I've got to take this jacket off. I'm sweating.
Short sleeve on them.
Yep. Turn the heating off. So if you don't get it mixed up properly, it's going to end up being patchy and horrible. I said wear gloves, but they keep pulling the gloves off my fingers.
Need to change camera.
Yeah, I did change camera. So just keep kneading it up until you get a consistent colour. It's starting to go now. Just get a scraper and scrape that up. So you can see now you're getting a consistent colour. So the best way to get it in your little tiny groove is to roll little sausages, rather than trying to just force it in one piece. So break a piece off and just roll it like you would if you're playing with Play-Doh, really.
Knead until your thumbs fall off. That's what Amy put.
Yeah, it does make your hands ache. So we don't need a lot in there. You want to try and, you want to
Need
look.
a lot in there. No.
She's on form today, isn't she?
After yesterday, I've got to be.
So you don't need loads in there, but what we want to try and do is we want plenty in, so it's enough to hold it. So when you turn it down, you've still got a decent amount left in there.
Brent said, can you gently warm it up in the microwave?
Well, I think if you did that, I think that'd start to cure, mate, to be honest. It doesn't, once you get it moving, that's because it's been in the drawer for I don't know how long, and obviously it's not been touched, it just gets cold. But once you get it going, it's all right. It's just getting it going.
I could have warmed it up while you was turning.
You could have mixed it while I was turning.
No, I'm not doing your job for you. You have enough fairies doing work for you. Don't you?
Yes, there. All right, so just make sure you push it right in deep, forcing it in, making sure it's all the way back.
Dough mixer in the kitchen, is he? Oh, I could have put it in the bread maker.
Who said dough maker? Dough mix.
Benjamin.
You can tell he lives on his own, can't you?
I'll take that thing. That bread maker does do it though, doesn't it? I'll just mix it. You don't have to have it cook it. I think it will just mix the dough.
All right.
I think I've done too many carrots for 3 of us. So that's some will stay in the fridge for the week.
All right, so that's that one.
I have to ring daughter number 1, I think, when this is finished, because she ain't getting back to me whether she's home for tea or not.
Daughter number 1.
Right, let's see what's going on. Brian said, now let's not have a domestic in the lounge, please, you two. Right, so Wood Dude said, if you roll out 2 different colour Milliput into long thin rolls and twist together and twist again a few times, you can make a very nice marble effect.
You can. That's what I did before, when I did a white and turquoise one.
Chris said, we could watch Nicky kill Steve live. John Mooney's on.
All right, John, how you doing?
Keith said, Steve, I was told that if you mix each part first to warm, it can get it working and then put 2 together.
Right, okay.
Ooh.
So a little bit more just to finish that off. Like I say, you've got plenty of time with it. There's no rush with it. Because you've got plenty of time with it. It's not that it cures, and not like resin with when it starts to go, it's gone. So there's, like I say, there's no rush with it.
Can you just manipulate it again so that it goes soft?
Well, it won't go soft again, but you don't need to rush it because you've got plenty of time to play with it. Right, so just making sure it's pushed right in.
Gentlemen, Woodturners on.
Hi, Mark. Right, so that's pushed right in, so we'll keep that bit. So
Marky Mark.
we'll mix up some more green. How much do I need? Yeah,
That much.
I'm going to do all of that
No, a
because
bit more than that.
I'd rather have more than not enough. So
No,
cut
I'd
them
have a bit
this.
more than that.
You shut up. You don't know what you're talking about, woman. God, that's hard, that stuff.
Mark's been gardening.
Gardening.
Gardening. Come and do a bit of garden.
I think it actually is starting to go off that hardener. Mind you, I've had them for 2 years, maybe more
I was
now.
going to say, you've not used them for that long, have you?
No, so wouldn't surprise me. And it was a new. Well, actually, I don't think it was a new one because I think it was a bit cut off of it. So, living gloves are a pain. It's just once you get it going, you're all right. It's just getting it going. Like anything in life, it's all right once you get it going.
No comment.
What is the drying time of Milliput? I'll read the chat. You're all right, love. You carry on.
You've got a question from Pete from Twisted Trees. He wants to know, what is the drying time
about 12 to 14 hours.
on Milliput?
It'll start to go off in 12 to 14 hours. Ideally, if you can leave at 20, 24, it'd be great.
Ruby, why do you want to see a camera change?
What, because I'm
Perhaps
mixing?
she wants to see the mixing.
She wants to see me struggling
Can't you do
mixing.
both?
I can, but it's not very interesting.
Well, she wants to probably see you mixing it, babe.
She wants to see a man of need. That's what it is.
On his knees.
Every day, that is. This lathe's a bit high for this.
Oh, that wasn't a good idea.
Don't get blood in my workshop.
Was it catch a knife by the blade?
Johnson super glue.
No, that's all right. It's not a sharp knife. You ain't had your hands on it yet. It's not sharp. You ain't found this one yet.
It's nothing worse than a blunt knife.
The thing is, he don't tell us when he sharpens them. We'll end up cutting ourselves.
There's a clue in
This
the
one
name.
does need sharpening.
There's a clue in the name of the item, isn't there? Knife.
Yeah, knife, not sharp. It's called a knife, not sharp. Yeah, definitely need to take some carrots out of it. There's definitely too many carrots for us.
Alright, so get this mixed up.
For tomorrow, though. It's the best thing about doing a roast. I'll need it. Next week's going to be a long week. Lots of teaching next week.
Alright, so ideal thing to mix this up would be a piece of glass. I wouldn't stick to it then, would it? Alright, so just need that together.
What about one of these cutting boards?
No, I tried that, it just ruins them. There's one chucked down there somewhere with all stuck to it.
What about a mirror? I've got all them mirrors.
Don't know if that'll break there when you push.
Yeah, you push down on it. Well, that's going to be the same with glass, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, so that's the green. So let's mix the black up. Hopefully the black won't be as bad. If I can get out of the box.
Got to go.
See you later, Brent. So I don't want as much black because we want more green than we do black. So we'll cut that in half.
Would do said roll any excess into a tube and attach to an offcut. I can't read that. Roll any excess into a tube and attach to an offcut on a chuck and make wonderful, beautiful jewellery finials, says Edward.
I did when I did one before. The offcut I turned, or what I had left, I turned into a pen blanket. It turned out quite nice. So it's always the hard now.
So another bank holiday next weekend. Not complaining.
Oh, glad you're not.
Oh, you can get some work, I'm sure.
Thanks, love.
Do you reckon they can eat cauliflower head? Let's have a Google. Good old Google. What would we do without it? It does say on Google they can give them lettuce. I've been told do not, under any circumstances, give them lettuce. Won't we?
Mhm.
We don't want that, do we? It says here, surprisingly, no. Although vegetables are an ideal addition to the high fibre hay that bunny rabbits require, cauliflower causes rabbits to bloat and become gassy.
You don't want that.
And someone else said yes.
Message the woman you got them from and ask her.
Oh, they can't eat broccoli.
Blooming gloves.
Right, they can eat the leaves. I'm not going to give them the cauliflower. They've got enough with carrots, haven't they? And if not, I'll just go buy cabbage, because they can have cabbage. If they don't have cabbage leaves, they must be able to have. I didn't realise they couldn't have broccoli, but yep, I've got. Oh, don't know. Well, after we got told that someone killed a rabbit giving them lettuce,
Right, so I
they
think
can't have leeks because it's onion.
gives them bad breath. Right, so I think
Right,
that's the.
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Right, I need to change my gloves out. Hands are a bit sweaty. And then gloves.
Wait a minute. Stu's got another suggestion. Where did that go?
God,
Doug
man.
Miller's got to go.
See you later, Doug.
They said he catch. I know it goes too long, don't he?
Getting bored now, they are.
Steve, if the outside is hard and green yellow colour, cut it off till you get soft inside, and it'll mix a lot better.
Yeah, but the ratios won't be right then, will they?
Brian said, "Vision of exploding rabbit in Steve's house." It's my house, not Steve's. I clean it.
I just pay the bills, Brian. That's what I do.
Yeah, I'll have you know, Brian. It's my house.
I just have
How
to cover
dare
all the costs.
How dare you? Disgusted.
Right, so let's roll the black out and roll the turquoise. Oh, bloody board.
Oh, don't swear.
Sorry, blue and board. Actually, I'm going to go over to the bench and no, not that one, this one, and roll it out on the bench.
Mm.
So, because I can do it easy, I've got to move this laptop though.
Is it because it's too high?
No, it's because I keep every time I touch it, I jump.
Brian put, oh, sorry, Nikki, my mistake. Yeah, so you should be. How dare you? Steve Shed. Well, I'd call it Shed, Emma. Steve Shed. Nikki's house. He's only
So
allowed
the
to enter at
so so the
certain
rules are
times.
going to be: Nick pays for all the maintenance on the house.
No,
Steve pays for all the maintenance on the
you ought to
ship.
be. You're the man of the house. You ought to be the man.
I never said I wanted to be the man. It's overrated.
I must admit, I did think as the girls got older, things would get cheaper, but it seems to be expensive. Because they ask for stuff rather
Well,
than...
especially when they got a mum that gives in to them. Can I have, Mum? Yeah, of course you can, darling. Have whatever you want.
Mark said, I wouldn't make that mistake, Nikki, lol.
Right, so break that one in half. Got
Ooh, mince and tatties. Not keen. Steve's house says dog on the outside. A bit confused. Oh,
doghouse.
dog. No, it's shed. Man shed. I'll tell you what, if I could get him a toilet out here and a sink, I'd be well happy. Mark Strawn's got a question.
Go for it, Mark.
Steve, can you use lacquer over the Milliput to give it a gloss finish instead of the matte that it would naturally be?
Yes, you can. I can't see why you couldn't. I haven't tried it. I couldn't see why you couldn't, Mark. Right, that's better. Stop that board moving around. Right, so they're about the same thickness.
Gentleman Woodturning said, I have before, gives a good finish. I don't know what Gary and Val's talking about. I ain't got a clue.
Right, so could we go thinner with them? I reckon we could go thinner with them. I reckon we could break that one in half and go thinner with that.
Did I take the skin off?
So that one. So I'm going to do some little snakes with these, and then I'm going to intertwine them together. So we're going to break that one in half again. Like that. Oh, don't want to do that, do we? So that one. Break this one in half again.
Oh, they're talking about Scottish food. And I believe that is finally that.
Right, so black, black.
Right, I'm just going to quickly nip these in the house because they're done, all right?
Okie dokie. Should get rid of that one. So squeeze and pull a little bit. Just squeeze them up. This is where it could go wrong. So I want to rough round, and then I'm going to twist it like so. And then we're going to round it out. And I'm going to fold it again. Rough round it again. The board stays still. I'm going to twist it again. Right, hopefully now we can rub it out enough to go around our piece. You're not going to know what it looks like until you turn it all off at the end.
Mark's got to go. He's off to the pub.
See you later, Mark. Or Mark Stroughton or Mark the Gentleman Turner.
Gentlemen. Paul Lockwood said it's like standing at the rock factory. Dr. Bob said candy cane style. Amy said licorice all sorts.
All right, so hopefully we've got enough. This is where we see if we've got enough or not. You can't see because I'm right in the way, you know. Let's try that one.
On the one camera as well.
All right, so. Oh, bye-bye. So making sure we got it pushed right in. Let's break it up. Look.
Does it matter? It's breaking.
Don't matter to me. It's all different effects, isn't it? Everything you need to do is make sure you get it all in, because you're never gonna make the same pattern, are you? So you need to try and get it all.
Chris Dodd said you could make your own rock with your name inside.
Oh, blimey.
And Mark said, just like watching them make rock in Skeg Vegas when I was a kid. Jappy's on.
Right, Jappy, how you doing?
Long time no see.
So just take that bit out of there, because. So you're just going to make sure we force that in there, nice and tight, and wherever we've got a bit of a low spot, try and squeeze it around a little bit. So it's a bit high there, but I'm not worried about that. That'll come right when we turn it down. Just making sure we push that well in there. Like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a little ball. There's a little bit left. That looks really green on that screen, doesn't it? It's not quite as green as that.
Not so bad on my screen.
Look, little quail egg. Right, so let's just have a look at that. So there is all in, ready to dry. So we'll leave that to dry now.
Right. Chris said, Steve, is this part one or do you have one you made earlier?
No, this is part one. I'll finish it off next Sunday because, like I say, it's hashtag next week. So we'll have the hashtag and this to finish off. So.
And Pete said, does a small dovetail undercut help keep the milliput in the wood?
Yeah, you could do, Pete. It wouldn't hurt. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt at all. But it's all right as long as you can get it to force in there. But it usually grabs quite well. As long as it's been sanded and sealed, it will hold quite well. So we'll leave that to dry. Like I say, that'll start to go off in the next 12 hours, but it will be fully hard in 20 to 24 hours. And then we can come back and all you do is just get whether you want really carbide or gouge just to gently take off that. It makes a hell of a mess, but it's worth it, I think. And like I say, it's been a while since I did Milliput, so I thought I'd have a go with one. It's been a while. And then what we'll do is we'll just gently dish this bit out to finish it off. So there you go. Let's have a look. Let me call that nearly 2:30, dead on time. So there you go. Like like I say, Milliput is.
If anyone just switched on, they go, "What on earth has he done?"
Yeah, what a mess! What a mess! So Milliput is available anywhere. You can buy it on Amazon, eBay. The supplier doesn't actually sell direct; they only sell to wholesalers. But like I say, you can get several in colours. That's the black. That's the silver grey. That's the white. Then they do a terracotta, which is quite nice. Black and terracotta is quite a nice colour mix. And then they do obviously the green, which is what we've just used. And then they actually do this is the standard one, which someone said is like a yellowy, grey colour once it's mixed up. But I think, yeah, it's one of those colours that you really need something special for it. But I think the terracotta, the green and the black are the best, or the terracotta, turquoise, and the black are the best colours personally to me. So yeah, so we'll finish it off next week. Then also, like I say, we've got the hashtag week. I can't remember what it is. I'm not going to tell you anyway because this is a surprise. But it's Brian's fault. No, yeah, well, Brian, is it as bad as resin? Yeah, because it's in really fine chips. So it's just like, it's basically like confetti going everywhere. So it is a bit of a mess. But you'll love it, Brian. Brian, you absolutely love it, mate. Have a go. Get some. Right, guys. So I will be back Friday evening. Brian's on tomorrow night. No Terry tomorrow because unfortunately he's not very well. So get well soon, Terry. And other than that,
It's all Pete's fault.
Yeah, always all Pete's fault. All Pete's fault. So other than that, have a great week, guys. Bank holiday next weekend, so it's not Friday, is it? It's just Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So yeah, so I'll be back Friday night. Don't know what I'm going to do. Something interesting, hopefully. I doubt it, but we'll try our best. And catch you guys later. Thanks very much for coming over and joining myself and Nick. Really do appreciate you guys mean the world, and your support is overwhelming. So thank you very much for your continuous support. Other than that, have a great week. Speak to you soon. Take care and bye for now. Say bye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.
That's all, folks.